Hey, what is up guys, Guitar Rock here, welcome back to another Blue Archive video. Alright, so we got some interesting one this particular week. If you guys are not aware, by now, the patch notes is up, and for the next 2 weeks, we're gonna feature Pajama Yuuka right here, alongside with Pajama Noa. So both are going to be a completely new character for Global. These are not going to be reruns. So let's talk about them and whether or not you should be pulling for them. Also give you guys a context in perspective of the current batch of characters. Hopefully you guys get the idea as well, because we are moving into the fest very soon. We are about 1 month away actually, right? So if you are pulling here, make sure that you have enough for the fast banner. Of course, before the fast banner, we should be getting the Seiya banner and the 100 free pulls first 1 week before the fast banner. So that's going to be what's happening, but we are definitely very close. So on the end of July is going to be when we will be having the 6% fast banner. I would advise you guys, if you could, try to save a little bit, but let's give you guys a better decision since now we are approaching it. Let's talk about Pajama Yuuka and Pajama Noa right here. So if you guys are not aware already, Pajama Yuuka is going to be much more of a striker defender. Alright, so what is her role in the combat as a whole, right? She is going to be very similar to Akane or any other debuffer that reduces defense. As you can see, she is going to be an explosive tank. Alright, she goes to the front, and she's a 2-cost tank that helps do a little bit of damage and also reduce target's defense by 23%. Now if the enemy has light armor, or if the enemy is like red, then their defense is reduced by 46% for 25 seconds. Now if you guys are not aware, right now we do have Bina, alright, going on, and Bina excels in very high defense, so ideally when you fight her, you have to reduce her defense as well. So the 2 best characters for Bina is either going to be Akane, which is a free character, which everybody most likely will have. So Akane is able to reduce enemy's defense by 37.7%. Right? So again, compared to Yuuka, Yuuka is slightly more if the enemy has this condition, right? Which is the light armor, 46%. But what about a better character right now, which is Swimsuit Kana? She's also a standard banner character that can do that. Swimsuit Kana is going to be 47.8%. So you can see we already have a character that can do this without any condition, right? And also Swimsuit Kana is going to be a character that's available right there. Now the duration is going to be a bit different, 25 seconds right here versus Swimsuit Kana, which is 20 seconds. So do you really need that 5 extra seconds as a whole, right? I feel like most players might not need that, but Yuuka do have a little bit of self-heal right here and can also increase the HP, and she is going to be tankier in terms of increasing her own defense by up to 6% and can stack multiple times, right? So if you're looking for a tankier character that reduces defense, I guess this is where Pajama Yuuka comes in. But for most players, especially if you have Swimsuit Kana, you don't really need that as a whole as well. She also can increase the debuff duration for even more, up to 1900, and increase HP by 26.6%. So do you really need her? In most cases, no. Alright, she is not going to be limited as well. She is going to be a standard banner character. Now, as much as I like Pajama Yuuka, right now is a very tight schedule following we have a New Year character later on and also the one after. Now if you are looking to pull in either one of these 2 characters or these 2 students, it has to be Pajama Noa. Now Pajama Noa is going to be a piercing damage type. She is going to be a light type on her armor. Now she is going to be a DPS character that does single target damage at 5 costs. Alright, right here you can see she does 1442% damage. Grand weak point exposed for 20 seconds. So when attack an enemy with this debuff takes additional damage, equal to 33.4% of Noa's attack. Now the damage cannot be critical and effect will end after 240 hits. So she is going to have that little bit of a different niche, similar to Mika, but hers is 5 costs. Now notice how she has 2 EX skills. She has this one and she has this one that's 3 costs, and this one is going to do a little bit more damage at 1683%. Alright, the rest of these are pretty similar, alright, except this one is also going to be additional damage of 39%. So how she works is she has these 2 conditions depending on her normal skill, right? So after Please Be Quiet After Lights Out is used 2 times, alright, which is this main skill. She is going to increase the cost recovery, and then she changed it to this particular one. Alright, the 3rd hit is going to do even more. Basically, you use this for 2 times, it switch to this for 1 time, and then you go back to this for 2 times. So that's going to be the rotation pretty much. Now the difference in damage is not that high, 1.4 1.6k% and 1.6k%, but the cost is going to be what is going to be crazier here, right? Cost 5 and cost 3. It's going to be way easier to rotate after the second rotation, right? Passive skill increase her own attack, and she has a sub skill that increase penetration efficiency for up to 88.9% after every 10 normal attacks. So this is going to be pretty cool. Alright, she is going to be one of the better DPS characters. If you do not have Mika, I can see her in the place of the top slots for a lot of DPS character right now. So I feel like for single target, if you're looking for the piercing type, we have Mika as one of the top candidates right there. So hers is going to be 1540%, and she can also pretty much have the guaranteed crit as well, which is going to be extremely interesting. The thing is, if you already have a build Mika, right, should you really pull for her? Unless you really need a second team or you need to tackle like Insane, Torment, if you're like a top endgame player, then sure, right? Because she straight up just competes with Mika because of the terrain advantage. I guess Mika's one is going to be the last one, but Mika can be used in 2 terrains, right? So I guess in that sense, sure, if you need one more character that can do that. Dress Kayoko is also going to be another similar one, alright? A lot of players use her in some situation, but she is going to be of a different terrain as well, depending, right? Hers is 5 cost and as you can see 1200%, but she ignores 64% of the enemy's defense. Now I understand that for Dress Kayoko, she's going to be a little bit finicky to use because she cannot be attacked for like 10 seconds to basically activate certain mood. So it depends on the boss. If the boss is doing some AoE attack, most of the time it is going to be very annoying. Now obviously one more character that a lot of players might have is going to be Kazusa. So I haven't really built my Kazusa, but you can see right here she is going to be I believe going up to 1700% at 4 costs. Not too bad right here, right? So she is going to be one of the other options for single target piercing type. As you can see, we have quite a lot of options, right? So you don't really need Pajama Noa to a certain extent. Plus, she's a standard banner character. Like if you are looking to pull, I feel like you are better off getting the next characters that's to come. And what is that character after this? So keep in mind, this particular event is going to run for 2 weeks, or this particular banner in that case. And after that, we are going to have the limited students of New Year Aru and New Year Musuki. I do think that for most players, this is going to be a better banner to pull. Number 1, New Year Kayoko is going to be meta, alright? And she is going to be shared PT across these 4 students right here. Even though New Year Kayoko is not limited, but New Year Musuki is. So my advice is try to get New Year Musuki, and then if you can, spark New Year Kayoko along the way. That would be nice. These two are very strong prominent character. New Year Musuki is one of the best AoE Mystic DPS right now. For 2 costs, she can do quite a lot, right? Big, huge area. New Year Aru is much more like niche and not being used as much, but ideally these 2 are going to be the one they want to look forward to, right? The other 2 is not bad. After that, we're gonna get 1 week of Maid Aries, Bunny Toki, and of course Maid Momoi and Midori Maid. This is going to be another 1 week. So literally we got 2 weeks of the Pajama banner, and then 1 week of the New Year banner, and then 1 week of this particular Maid banners. And then we're gonna have Seiya. And then of course the 6% is going to happen with Rio and Swimsuit Hanako. We are really close, alright? It is going to be closer than you think. So if you guys are spending in this particular banner, the important one is going to be make sure that you have enough. Also, I want to mention, School Uniform Neru is probably going to be one more character that's kind of similar. She's also going to be piercing type, single target as well. As you can see right here, she is also going to do 1400% damage to one enemy. So she's also going to be that single target piercing type that competes with Mika. And she also can feel these 2 terrain advantage, right? So if you're pulling for Pajama Noa, right, we are going to have like Neru that comes a little bit later. So do you really need this particular character right now? Do you really need to pull in this particular banner right now? For most players, I would say no, unless you are doing it for collection purposes, right? Now that being said though, cool L to D, right? Hopefully, she is going to be available in the standard banner. Hopefully we'll all be able to spook her, and of course with Yuuka right here, right? So this is going to be the 2 that's happening this particular week with the Secret Midnight Party event. Now alongside with that, you can see we're going to get a bunch of special stuff. This is going to be a new mission, so we're going to have all of this extra. Is that an energy drink? Wow, very interesting. Those are the characters with bonuses as well. So keep in mind, alright, so we are going to have a new treasure hunt sort of event that's going to be pretty cool. And we get to watch the special Chase the Joker. That's going to be a new side story that you can watch, right? Chokma is going to come as well. This is going to be heavy armor, so Chokma is back again. So this time, we probably will have a new strat for Chokma, so we'll see how it is, right? I believe the Marina Chipao is going to shine right here as the main DPS, which I'm not sure how many players actually built that. And of course, Hovercraft Wakamo, they will come in 17th of June. That's going to be next week. So they are also introducing a new 3-star guaranteed student ticket right here. This is going to be pretty cool. And as you can see, this is the interactive for Pajama Yuuka and of course Pajama Noa. So they both got the bean bags. Very, very cool. That's pretty much what we're getting this week alongside with the double drops. So yeah, make sure you guys are looking into this, you know, planning carefully because the plan is going to be very important. Now, as for the Steam account, I know a lot of you guys have been asking me, when is the Steam account coming out? When is the Blue Archive official release date? No idea. Alright, so for now, they haven't released any news yet, so we'll have to wait. Hopefully, it will be, if I have to guess, maybe in alignment with their fest that will be happening later on, so that's going to be somewhere in July. So that's going to be my guess for now. Alright, so that's going to be it for this particular video. Subscribe if you guys haven't already, give this video a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Feel free to tune into my live streams at twitch.tv/guitarrock69. Alright, if you have any questions, specifically you want to know about Blue Archive, that would be the place to try to ask me so that I can answer you directly. Alright, see you guys then. Goodbye.